Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from The Hill that was written by Jordan Carney and published on June 12th. Democrats warned Biden against releasing the SCOTUS list. Well, of course they don't want him releasing that because basically if he panders to the far left, progressive left that is pushing for him to, he's going to alienate a shit ton of people that he needs to get elected. If he panders to them. If he doesn't pander to them and releases a list and they don't like it, then he's got to deal with their mental retardation and spurgery and everything else, which he's damned if he do, he's damned if he doesn't. And that's why they're telling creepy Uncle Joe not to release his SCOTUS list. So anyway, let's see what Jordan has to say here. Senate Democrats are warning former Vice President Joe Biden against releasing a list of potential Supreme Court picks. The then candidate Trump in 2016 released a list of names he said he would pick from to fill a Supreme Court vacancy, and Biden is facing calls from activists on both the right and the left to do the same. Well, actually, no. What he has on the right is basically what the people do on the right doing it. It isn't calling for him to do it on the same type of mentality as, say, the left. The right wants him to do it because they know that he will fuck himself one way or the other. And they want him to fuck himself. So why don't you admit that part of it? Because those far left people and the progressive people that want him to name his SCOTUS picks, his Supreme Court picks, are going to fuck him any which way. He can't make him happy either which way, because if he makes that, well, he can't make the general group that would make up the party. And I'm not talking about, say, politician-wise. I'm talking about voters. He can't make all of them happy if he does it. And that's going to go over really fucking well, let me tell you. Oh, he'd dig his own grave. But several Democratic senators are warning Biden, who previously chaired the Judiciary Committee, against doing so. Yes, because they know it'll fuck him. Senator Dick Durbin, Illinois, the number 2 Senate Democrat, and a member of the panel, told The Hill that Biden should not emulate Trump, who broke political norms with his list. Oh, he broke political norms with his list? Was it the fact that he made the list public, or the fact that the people on the list? I sincerely hope he does not do that, Durbin says. We ought to go back to the regular order of things. If and when vacancies occur, he can look for the very best person at the moment. Basically, yeah, well, see, leave your options open. Because if you're going to say something now, and you're going to be held to that, you pander to the far left, we're fucked. That's what's going on here. But understand what Republicans were doing. They were making clear to the Federalist Society he was going to be pre-clear every nominee for the Supreme Court. We should not be Federalist Society. He was going to pre-clear every nominee for the Supreme Court. We should not be in the same business he had. It wasn't about pre-clearing. It was like, hey, I'm going to put conservative judges on the bench. These are the people that I would put on the Supreme Court. What he's doing is he's showing that he's going to back up what he's saying. Because by Trump doing that and saying, these are my nominees, he's showing that, yeah, this is what he plans on doing. Whereas the Democrats like to fucking say one thing, not show anything to back it up, and then do the complete and total fucking opposite, like the rhino neocon shitbags used to do that domineered the Republican Party, that tended to all fucking die off or get too fucking old to be in politics. I have a lot of faith in Joe Biden. I've talked to him a little bit about this, and I think he understands the gravity of the issue, Schumer said. So basically, you senile old fuck, if you name your picks, you're going to fuck us because you're going to have to pander to the far left, and guess what? They aren't the ones that are going to like they are the ones that you don't have to worry about, comparatively. The push for Biden to provide more details and specific examples of who he might pick for the Supreme Court comes as the federal judiciary is viewed as a key issue for the Democratic base in the wake of the Republicans changing the rules for confirming Supreme Court justices in 2017 and a controversial vitriolic confirmation battle over Justice Brett Kavanaugh in 2018. Oh, you mean where you fucking lied about him? People at the Hill lied about him and the legacy media in general and tried to say, oh, well, you should believe Blasey Ford, Christy Blasey Ford, or whatever the fuck her name is, because, we've got to believe all women, and he shouldn't be a Supreme Court justice, even though she's clearly not knowing what she's talking about and lying through her fucking teeth. Congressional Democrats have signaled that they will increasingly focus on the impact GOP control of the Senate and White House has had on the courts. But progressive groups have urged Biden and other Democrats to go further by embracing structural reforms. Like what? Stacking the Supreme Court? A coalition of outside groups signed on to Yep, exactly. Oh my God. Yes. Now they're bringing that in. I already did a video on that. I released it late Friday night. That is fucking hilarious that they're actually going to bring that up. A coalition of outside groups signed on to a letter this week supporting such steps as expanding the size of the Supreme Court, which they wrote would be the fastest, most effective way to reverse the Republican theft of the Supreme Court. They also support other reforms like term limits and codes of ethics. The theft of the Supreme Court by Republicans, it was not a fucking theft, okay? Obama was a lame duck fuck with 1 year left to go, you stupid fucks, okay? Overwhelmingly, it has been a tradition. It has been an unwritten gentleman's agreement between presidents when they are a lame duck fuck like Obama was. They will not nominate a Supreme Court justice because the feeling is the American people will speak in their election of the next president on what type of justice they want on the Supreme Court. Was not stolen. Get over it. Biden has signaled he is concerned about the court's direction and that the GOP could seek to keep filling seats until the end of the year, even if Trump loses re-election. Well, yeah, up to the Supreme Court. You know, he can do that without a problem. During the NAACP event, Biden said he was very concerned that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was going to pressure older judges to retire. Oh, really? Was that where you said, no, wait a minute. No, I'm surprised you didn't say it, though. But if you're not, basically telling blacks that they're not black unless they vote for you. Oh, you shitbag. I'm not going to urge the Democrats in the U.S. Senate to block the ability to have a vote on those judges because we are in the middle of an election. We're not going to let that happen, Biden said, though Democrats aren't able to block judges unless GOP senators also vote against a nominee. But Biden has stopped short of embracing many of the reforms called for by progressives. You mean by like far left fucking psychopathic dipshit morons who think communism and socialism and Marxism as like a whole is good? I would not get into the court packing, Biden said during a Democratic debate last year. We add 3 justices. Next time around, we lose control. They add 3 justices. We begin to lose any credibility the court has at all. Yeah, well, exactly. And the thing is you don't want to look at the fact of what happened after FDR did that because he couldn't get his fucking New Deal bullshit passed because it was unconstitutional. So he stacked the fucking court, all right? And it was such a fucking shit show that we brought the justices back down to fucking 9 after he did it. Go learn fucking history, you dumb fucks. Oh, wait, you think that was a good thing, I bet, if you do know history, or at least some clue of history. You people are fucking ridiculous. His campaign didn't respond to a request for comment on Thursday about calls for him to release a list of who he would pick from if he wins the White House and there is a Supreme Court vacancy. 2 Supreme Court justices, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Stephen Breyer, are in their 80s. 2 others, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, are in their 70s. Yeah, this is what they're freaking out about. They're really afraid if Trump wins re-election, he could feasibly bringing up to 4 justices with those examples right there. And that really scares the fucking shit out of them. Biden is committed to naming a black woman to the Supreme Court, which would mark a historic first. Yes, because you know what? Instead of going and picking the best person for the job to sit on the bench at the Supreme Court, let's pick them because of fucking what they've got between their legs, whether it's, because it's an innie, and the fact that their skin color is black. Yeah, real fucking smart choice there, creepy Uncle Joe. You virtue signaling piece of shit. I commit that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It is required that they have representation. Now it is long overdue, Biden said earlier this year during a debate against Senator Bernie Sanders. Let's just ignore the fact that you have a black man. Oh, that's right, because he's an Uncle Tom in your eyes on the left, because he's a fucking Republican conservative. Biden said during an interview with ABC's The View that there were at least 4 women who he viewed as qualified to serve on the Supreme Court, but did not name names. Well, of course, because he can't keep track of names. He's a senile old fuck. But some progressives say specifying a list of who he would pick from could be an olive branch to voters who might be aware of him as the party's standard bearer. Yeah, basically, pander to the far left, name some people, you'll win the far left over, but you're going to alienate everybody else. But hey, let's just ignore that fact. We think he should take the next step and say who these people are, so we have a more concrete sense of who he would nominate, so sort of what the values are, and that he hopes those people might bring to the Supreme Court. Christopher Kang, the chief counsel for Demand Justice, told Hill in a recent interview. That's fucked up. The far left seriously thinks that this is going to, you got to win our votes. Fuck alienating the rest of the people that you really need the votes of to win. Holy shit, these people are fucking deranged. Kang added it would be reassuring to get more details on whom Biden is considering. I think it could be an opportunity for him to really help consolidate the Democratic base by showing that people he's thinking about are people who have not only led exemplary legal careers, but are inspiring for the work they've done, he said. This shitprick Kang actually thinks, because he's expecting creepy Uncle Joe to nominate these activist fucking judges, these far lefty, types that are going to be activist fucking judges, and he thinks that's going to win over and unify the American fucking people. Progressives are fucking delusional. This guy makes fucking Cenk fucking Uygur look fucking sane with his bullshit, ridiculous, out there off the wall smoking crack fucking predictions. Holy sweet Jesus. It's not just progressives who want to see who Biden could be looking at for the Supreme Court. Carrie Servino, the president of the Conservative Judicial Crisis Network, wrote in an op-ed that Biden would rather prefer to play hide the ball than say who he'll nominate. Yeah, because he knows it'll fucking piss off most people if he panders to the far left. And if he doesn't pander to them, he's going to piss them off. And they're the type of people that take to the streets and spurg out like fucking retards. Independents and the right would just be as interested to know who Biden has in mind. If he becomes president, Biden, they fear, the Supreme Court may be radicalized, perhaps to deliver an America of the kind that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the far left dream of, she added, referring to the progressive New York House member. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. He's damned if he do, he's damned if he doesn't. He can piss off the far left and say he's going to nominate the certain people that would appeal to the majority of Americans, or he can fucking appease them and piss off the rest of America. Trump, in May 2016, released a list of Supreme Court picks. At the time, there was a vacancy because of the death of Justice Antonin Scalia, and the decision by the Trump campaign was largely viewed as an attempt to help pressure GOP voters who may have otherwise been wary of Trump as the party's nominee. No. Wow. That is some fucking, smoking crack, deductive reasoning there. He's saying, look, you want a president that's going to vote, do things in your interest. Here are my Supreme Court picks. That's not about pressure. That's about the fact of, hey, voters, you want conservatives on the Supreme Court. I'm actually going to put actual conservatives on it. Not like rhino neocon shitbag like Roberts. I'm going to put actual conservatives on the bench. That wasn't about pressure. That was about saying, I'm going to do what you want me to do. But asked about Biden releasing a similar list, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat, Rhode Island, who has been vocal of the GOP's influence on the court, said, I'm not advising him on that, but I wouldn't recommend. I'm not advising him on that, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, because you all know he's fucked. Senator Debbie Stabenow, Democrat, Michigan, aligned herself with the White House. Ha ha! What? I have a great confidence in Joe Biden and his capacity to put forward judges that are competent, that have the best interests of the American people at heart, she said, that will care about the Constitution and an independent judiciary and basically begin to unwind what the Republicans have been doing. How is that aligning herself with Sheldon Whitehouse, not the White House? Oh, duh. It just seems completely different. That's why I found it funny. I mean, yeah, basically you have a situation here where they're damned if they do, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. They're going, no, to creepy Uncle Joe. Shut the fuck up, dude. You are a babbling fucking idiot, and the last thing we need for you to do is name people that are going to either piss off the far left or piss off the fucking rest of the country. Oh, God, this is some funny shit that they really are, like, coming out against us. They're freaking out. Because the left is all about pandering. Pandering. Oh, God. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.